My name's Aaron Metter. I started in the fire service in 2016. This created just a bug in me that didn't go away. I'd been in construction for 20 years and just needed something different. And the moment that I got into it, I'm sure like every firefighter, the moment you get into it is when you're hooked. We were on shift the morning or the day that the fire started, and we worked 48 hours on, 96 hours off. So I had 36 hours of watching the fire before I got off, and I live in Medical Lake, which is a 3-hour drive from here. I got home, had some chores to do at home, kids got out of school, and I was just hanging out with them and the wife, left my phone in the kitchen, and then I just hear it continually going off, text messages and phone calls. And by about the 10th one, I was like, oh, maybe I should check that. And then I started talking to the wife. Apparently they're gonna send a team down to California. I told her, oh, I can just backfill. And then she quickly said, why wouldn't you go down there? This is like a historic event. So I got home probably 11 o'clock or noon, and I was driving back here at 8 p.m. at night. So travel time to get down there, we left here at 4 in the morning and drove to Thorpe to go pick up another firefighter. Met the rest of the strike team, which varied from KVFR down in Ellensburg to four other engines and a strike team leader. We met them at Hood River as a group, and then drove down to Davis, California, where the inspection was, and it took us from 4 in the morning till 11 at night, where we bedded down for 4 or 5 hours, then got right back up. Went through inspection. Luckily, it only took an hour or two, and then continued on to LA, which was another 6-8 hours, waiting which fire they were going to send us to, whether it was the Eaton or the Palisades fire. So they had us go to Beaumont, California, which is in a Type 1 fire engine. It's about a 2-hour drive. After their briefing, all the officers on the engine had their briefing. We ate and bedded down probably 10:30 or 11 at night. Got back up at 4 to drive to Zuma Beach, and got our orders to go on the fire line. So it was a lot of drive time with little sleep, and then we spent 24 hours that night on the fire line. Our strike team was supposed to be doing structure protection. They had multiple strike teams doing that already, so they sent us up where the fire had gotten to, but they had bulldozed several lines in there, so we were just there to help strengthen that line. And it's amazing to see the ground looks perfectly normal, burnt obviously, but then you get a thermal imager out and it's 400 degrees right there, so you have to just keep digging and digging, and then from one little spot, next thing you know, you got 15 by 15 by a foot deep that you have to expose to cool it down, because those winds were kept on being predicted to increase every day, just as the Santa Ana winds are. And several times throughout the incident, the winds picked up so much that we almost had to hunker down a little bit. So really our day started at 4 a.m. when we got up, got ready, showered, shaved, whatever we needed to do, get to the engine, drive to the camp, get your assignment, get your food, grab lunch. Lunch was prepared enough for lunch and dinner. And then you would go to your division, and depending on what division it was, they would have you do certain tasks that they wanted to get done. And it was just, a lot of it was just hardening and strengthening the structures, cutting away brush, putting out hot spots. Just trying to clean up the place, because they're devastated. They shouldn't have to come back to, if their structure did survive, they drive in and see all this destruction. Just try to help out in any way that you can for those homeowners. We're kind of asking ourselves that every day, how long we're gonna be down here. It was a 18-day assignment with 2 travel days, 14 work days, and 2 travel days. And, you know, I had just gotten off shift and I wanted to be home, but I was in California. When I knew that we weren't going to go home right away is when and I forget the name of the fire, but I think it was like an hour or 2 north of us. I think it was Hughes. I don't know. We were up on this ridge line following some crews that were putting in the power lines because all the power lines had burned up, power poles had snapped, burnt down. We were making sure that the work that they were doing wasn't going to restart any fires. And then we had looked to the north of us, and a fire that was 50 acres turned into 5,000 acres before it was dark out. So, we're going to be here a while, and we were just waiting for that assignment to move from the Palisades fire to that fire. And luckily, it never came, and we were lucky enough to go home 2 days later.